Hello everybody, Carole Garrison with Carole's Creative Escape. Hey, thanks so much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it. I know everybody's busy and sometimes it's good to sit back and watch videos like this, and sometimes I know we can make ourselves believe that it's time to do something else other than just sit back and relax. But I do appreciate that you're taking a few minutes out of your evening to watch this video tonight or even on replay later on. My name is Carole Garrison of Carole's Creative Escape, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I've been making cards for over 30 years, and my goal in life is simply to spread joy one card at a time. Hey April, thanks for joining in. Tonight I've got a different layout for you than what I've normally done. It's actually the first time I've ever made a card like this in all of those years. Hi Cheryl, how are you? It's the first time I've made a card like this, actually in all the years I've been creating cards, so I was kind of excited. It's a pretty basic card, but it does take a little bit of time because you're dealing with lots of pieces, but the good thing is it's a great way to use up those 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch strips of paper, especially that designer series paper that you always get. But even cardstock, you could do, run it through an embossing folder and get a little bit of texture to add to your card as well. I hope everybody had a great week. We had really great weather, almost, dare I say, a bit chilly, especially yesterday. We had quite a breeze blowing through, and at least in the morning hours, it was quite chilly. I got to have my granddaughter with me all weekend. So my husband and I spent time at the Minnesota Zoo, which is a really nice, more natural habitat type zoo near our home. And we spent some time out there, and then we found a really brand new park in our neighborhood, and it just opened up. It's actually an adaptive park, so it's meant for everybody. Even wheelchair users could use these, many of the pieces on there. Cece's a bit of a little daredevil, so the 2 to 5 stuff, she just kind of went psh, and moved away from it and started going right to the bigger stuff. About a month ago, she wasn't doing slides, and she started doing slides, and these slides, apparently, because they're new, they must still have some kind of coating on them, because she would come flying down the curly slides, giggling her head off as she bounced onto the ground. So we had a good weekend with that, and like I said, I hope you all had a great weekend. This week, nothing exciting is happening. Hoping to get caught up on things around the house that I couldn't do while having a little helper with me. So let me just get started now. Oh, one more thing before I get going. There is a huge, today is July 17th, 2023. And on July 19th, which is Wednesday, all stamps in the 2023-2024 catalog, with the exception of Hostess stamp sets, will be 15% off. So if you have some stamp sets you've been thinking about, make sure you place an order with your demonstrator. If you do not already have a demonstrator, I'd love to help you out with that need as well, but I don't want anybody to miss out on 15% off stamp sets. That doesn't happen very often. So if there are stamps that you've been wanting, I know it's going to change my ordering just a little bit. And the other thing that will happen is for every $50 that you spend between now and the end of July, you'll also receive a coupon for $5 for each $50. You'll get a coupon code that you can use to order things in September. Or in August, excuse me. So not only can you save 15% on your stamp sets now, but you'll get some coupons to save on product for next month as well. So just wanted to let you know, again, it's a 24-hour sale, July 19th only. Now, let me go ahead and get my camera flipped over, and I will get started on this new card with you guys tonight. And like I said, this layout, our technique has been around. I've just never really done it, but because I am trying very hard to use up my designer series paper, it seemed like a great card, even early into the catalog year, a great card to start with, because I do have scraps of paper already to use. So rather than have those sitting in a a bin or a box somewhere, I can go ahead. I'm going to jiggle the camera just a little bit more to get it straight. I always turn it the wrong way. I have about a 50-50 shot to get it going the right way, and every time I get it wrong. Okay. Even this early on, it's nice to have a style of card that I can make that will use up some of my scraps without having them sit in a box and getting all bent out of shape. You know how the little papers can get bent up. So anyhow, the card that I'm making is this one right here, and it's just using those scrap strips of paper. Now this is from the Majestically Made Designer Series paper, and if you haven't seen this, but you're a fan of paper piecing, this paper is definitely for you. It'd be a great one to purchase next month after you've bought some 15% off stamps. You could use that $5 gift code to purchase this paper. It's a very bright colored set, paper piecing. So we've got these roses, and on the back side it's the lemon lime twist, just with a bunch of torn paper in different patterns. We've got this beautiful piece, kind of using the Berry Burst Fresh Freesia, the Azure Afternoon, and probably a little Misty Moonlight, Pretty Peacock. The back side is definitely Pretty Peacock. And then we've got this all over color pattern. How pretty is that? I just love all those bright colors. And then on the back side, it's a little bit of type and a little bit of the torn paper. And then we've got this one that features more of the brighter tones that are in this color, or in this paper selection. And on the back side, kind of the Fresh Freesia. And then we've got another one of those pieces that you can cut in half and get multiple cards out of that with this pretty base. Again, pretty much roses. And then we've got a Pretty Peacock torn paper. This side here is the Berry Burst torn paper. And then on the back side of this, we've kind of got a mountain scene. This might be fun in a scrapbook. I haven't fully figured out how I'm going to use this yet, but I know I like it. So just a quick, it's the Beautifully Made Designer Series paper. It goes with Azure Afternoon, Berry Burst, Crushed Curry, Fresh Freesia, Lemon Lime Twist, Lemon Lolly, Lost Lagoon, Melon Mambo, Night of Navy, Pretty Peacock, Pumpkin Pie, and Sweet Sorbet. So a lot of paper with that. So this is the card that I made, and these strips are 1/4 inch to 3/4 of an inch wide, and they are just scraps. I've used both sides, that kind of thing. And then I used the stamp from that one set that I can't remember now. Now I can't find it. I didn't mark it in my catalog either. It's the one with the women on it. I know y'all know which one I'm talking about. We just can't remember what it's called. Anyway, I'm not going to spend too much time trying to find it here. I'll thumb through real quick. Oh, yep, here it is. It's the In the Moment stamp set. And I just used the one stamp from that. And then I used the, I think it's the Sentimental dies for the tag. And I just did the 2 different sizes of those tags so that I could have a little bit of background color added on to that. Something Fancy is the name of those dies. And then to add a little pop to it, I used the ink along with the Versamark, and then I did some clear embossing on that. And then I do have the organdy ribbon in here with the glitter. The reason I'm using this ribbon is it is available as an online item in our online exclusive store, so it is still current product that we can use. And I just popped this piece up on dimensionals to give it a little lift. Now, one of the things I have started doing is I am bringing birthday cards into work. I work for a company that has, I don't know, roughly 90 to 100 employees, and we weren't quite doing enough, in my opinion, to celebrate birthdays and recognize them. And because I have so many cards, I thought, well, hey, I can donate some cards to the cause. And it's worked out really well, but I don't have a lot of masculine birthday cards, and I do have a lot of men that I'm working with, so I wanted to make sure that I had some masculine cards as well. So tonight I am using, to make this card, some scraps from the Let's Go Fishing designer series paper. And I have a piece for measurement purposes. This is a 5.5 by 8.5 scored at 4 1/4. This is the Pebbled Path designer series paper. I've got a piece of Very Vanilla because that's the background color with this particular collection of paper. And then I have actually 2 pieces of that, one for the front of the card and one for inside of the card. And then this piece is just a scrap of Pool Party that I had that measures 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And that gives it just a little bit of a border, but is going to be still the star feature of the card. And I'm fine using this Pool Party because I'm covering it all up. As you can tell from this card, none of that is going to show through. I had it handy, so I thought I'm going to use it. Now, true confession, right now I can't find my silicone mat. I'm not sure what happened to it, and my stamping area is a mess. It is what it is, but today I'm going to just use a little piece of this stuff so I don't get glue over everything. And I'm just going to spread glue, kind of squiggled. I want to make sure I'm getting my borders. I found it personally easier to use glue because I did find I was having to shift papers just a little bit. Sometimes I would bump it when the next one went down or whatever. So this just gave me what I needed to have that little bit of extra wiggle. The cool part about this card is obviously I made this one be a landscape card, and I've got my rows of paper going landscape. You could make a card going vertical, putting all your strips down vertical, or diagonally. And I'm going to try a diagonal card just because I thought it might be fun. And so to make sure I'm getting the most out of my scraps of paper, I am trying to make them all hang off primarily on one edge of my cardstock. Not for any particular reason other than it's if I need to fill in with a piece, I'm going to have some longer scraps that I can work with. The only thing is you do want to make sure that your cardstock comes completely to the top on this end of things. And I'm just randomly grabbing these scraps of paper. Again, these go anywhere from 1/4 inch to 3/4 of an inch. Primarily because that's the thicknesses that I had from other projects. And I'm just sort of putting colors down however it pleases me. I've got strips from all pieces of this designer series paper. And I'm flip-flopping sides of the designer series paper too, so that I've got both of those things there. I think we'll put this piece here. And I will say I fussed and fussed about the layout of my first attempts at this kind of a card. Don't spend too much of your time worrying about whether you've got the right piece going the right way, because in the end, it isn't going to matter a whole lot. For me, it was more important that I kind of had varied colors and patterns in here, just because that's my style. And you don't have to worry too much if your colors go exactly, because again, we're adding so many different patterns here. Nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna know. Oh, let's add a little fishy strip in this color. And if you find you have taken a little bit long and this starts to get a little dry, it'll stay tacky, and so you will be able to put your strips on here and they will stick. But if you're uncomfortable with that and want to add a little more glue, by all means, you can do that. Now, I am not going to do that right now because, as you can tell, I've got a little bit of my corner left here that I have not been able to put paper strips on because I don't have enough. And so what I'm going to do is just grab my cutter, paper trimmer here, and I'm going to flop this onto my trimmer, and I'm going to start right here with this edge, kind of guessing where that groove is, because honestly I can't fully see it, but I'm going to cut those strips off. I think I probably did pretty good on that guesstimate right there. And then I'm just going to rotate it over so that I've got that straight edge against my cutter here. And that way I can get it lined up and cut all of these big pieces off. And again, I did a very decent job doing that. Now I've got all these scraps that I can start working with again. And I just have this little corner left. That first card that I made, I had enough pieces. This card, I just needed to trim it first and kind of get the pieces going. And again, you can do it in whatever order, repeat whatever patterns you feel like repeating. There's really no rhyme or reason to how we're putting this together. I think I want to try to get, even though you can't fully tell that that's a fish, I'm wondering if I can get enough of that one on here. I'm not going to be able to. All right. I think I'll go back to this fishy pattern. And then I've got just that corner that's still showing. So I'm going to add just a little drop of glue to that. And I think I'm just going to end it with, this is actually a piece that's got a map on it, but it just has a little bit of detail. And so now I've got my whole piece of paper covered, and again I can come back with my trimmer and I'm going to put this here. So I know this piece is my 5 1/8, so I'm just going to line it up with the 5 1/8 mark, 5 1/8 inch mark up there. So when I trim it, it's going to pretty much get me where I want it to be. And then here I can just line it up at the 3 7/8 inch mark. And again, I'm going to have it right where I want it, so I'm really not changing the size of this piece. And none of that pool party color shows through, but I got rid of another piece of cardstock scrap that I may or may not have used on another project. And the one thing that I did do for this one is I grabbed a piece of ribbon. This came from a set that included kind of this linen ribbon along with a piece of old olive, or a spool of old olive ribbon. And oh, call me silly, that's an expired one. Oh well, we're going to use it today anyhow. I thought it was a current ribbon. Apparently I didn't get rid of everything. So we're just going to use this because it's a nice masculine ribbon. And I think I'm just going to have it go along the one side here. So I'm going to grab, I truly thought, I apologize for that, because I truly thought I had all of my retired ribbons pulled. Oh well, it happens sometimes. I'm just going to take my seal because I want it to run on this side of my card. And so to conserve ribbon a little bit, I can just run it straight, and then I just have to have a little piece that I flip over and a little piece there. And now my ribbon is attached, and it just adds a little bit to the card. Okay, and you can use your seal or your liquid glue. I'm just going to adhere this layer now to that other layer of Very Vanilla. And oh, my dog just came down. He's got the zoomies here. Sorry if you can hear him running in the background. What I have learned and this came from another demonstrator, is if I kind of line this corner up and this opposite corner up, I can get a pretty good ring around my card, keeping that piece fairly centered. And so I'm just going to adhere that. And now I just need to take and adhere this layer to the front of my cardstock. And again, this is that new Pebbled Path, is the color of the card base. Make sure that you are putting this on in the right direction. Okay. And then because our leadership team is going to be signing these cards, I'm not actually going to put anything on the inside. So I want to leave lots of room for signatures for some of the birthdays that'll be coming up. And so I'm just going to center this on the inside of my card. And yes, that's the dog tearing out the lower level. I'm not sure what he got into outside, but apparently it made him feel happy. All right. And then I've just got the happy birthday sentiment. This came from the Beautiful Balloons, and I used the Misty Moonlight because I thought it would be better to pull out some of the blue. And again, I did it, stamped the image and then stamped over it with the clear Versamark and did clear embossing powder just to get a little detail to it. And then I'm just going to pop this element up on some dimensionals because I think this layout does need a little bit of that. And then when I was looking at my spacing on my circle, I realized I didn't have it quite centered. And that was kind of done on purpose because my sentiment would have gotten cut off. I was pretty close as it was. So I have just grabbed some of these brushed metallic adhesive back pieces. And I thought they went well enough with what I was working on here that I could use those to add a little bit to the card. I'm probably not going to use, well, that color is in there, but I think I'll kind of go with this color and what the heck, you know what? We'll put that one there. And that just adds a little bit of detail to the card, a little bit of dimension. And so there you go. We've got Majestically Made, Going Landscape, and Let's Go Fishing on the diagonal, just using up paper strips of the designer series paper that I have. I hope that this has inspired you to make some cards. Like I said, I'm trying. You may see a few more masculine cards come out because I have a real purpose now to create multiples of those. But it always has been a challenge for me, so I like to have some of those in my stack anyhow. So there you go. Everybody have a great week. Thanks so much for joining me. Don't forget about the 15% off stamp sale that is for 24 hours only on Wednesday, July 19th of 2023. And I will see you all next week. Bye-bye.